Hello everyone, welcome to today's class. Today's class is about a new technique. What is it? It is nothing but discounted cash flow techniques. Okay, so what is the difference between the previously seen non-discounted cash flow technique and this technique is about time value of money. So this technique considers the time value of money. So what is meant by that? So it is nothing but you're going to discount your cash flows to their present value. The amount that I'm going to be received in future will be discounted to the present value. What is the value of that amount today will be found here. So since we are just discounting the cash flow to their present value, this technique is also called as present value technique. Okay, before going into the methods under discounted cash flow technique, let us find how to determine this discount rate. Okay, so determination of the discount rate. So it is a simple formula, guys. It is nothing but 1 divided by 1 plus k power t, where k is your cost of capital. So let me explain what is the cost of capital. Cost of capital is nothing but it is the weighted average cost of debt and equity of a company. If you have been studied business valuation, which is in your group 4, then you have come across this term and you know how to compute that. So it is nothing but you're going to take the weighted average of your equity and the debt of the company. Okay, so cost of capital is one method of analyzing what firm's risk return profile. Okay, how much risk it got to get that return. So this is the cost of capital concept. Okay, the next one is about T. T is nothing but years in which the cash inflow happens. Okay, it is very important. Here T is not about the life of the project. Here T is about the year in which the particular cash flow happens. Suppose I am just going to get 50,000 in first year, then the T is what? 1. So if I going to get 60,000 in second year, when you are discounting that 60,000, you should put 2 in the place of the T, because for second year alone I am just discounting that value. So it is not your number of years of the project, it is only about what the particular year in which the cash flow occurs. Okay, let us go and see an example for better understanding. So in under SFM, most of the times they will be provided you with the cost of capital. It is not a big issue to compute. Even if you are not provided, there is a particular formula which with the help of that you can able to compute the cost of capital. So the cost of capital is 10%. So discount factor after 1 year. So I just came to know that after 1 year I am just going to receive some amount. So what will be that amount if I receive today? Is the concept here. So 1 divided by 1 plus 0.10 the whole power 1. It is nothing but 0.909. Guys, it's very simple. You may ask why all those simple steps. Because someone may not know how to carry these simple steps, because it's purely mathematical, right? And the SFM is somewhat mathematical, so I will be trying to cover all these simple steps. Bear me with that. Okay, so okay, it is for first year. So what about discount factor after 2 years? So it is nothing but in the place of T I am just going to put 2. So I am just going to take square for in the denominator, and finally I will be arriving the value 0.826. So if you all remember, this thing can be done with your calculator simply. Like for the first alone you will be calculating, right? 1 divided by 1.10. By simply pressing your equal to sign, you will be getting the subsequent values. Okay, it's not a matter, but this is how a particular discount factor for a particular year to be found out. Okay, let us move on to the techniques that involved here. Okay, so the first technique is nothing but net present value. Very important. Okay, so net present value, what is the formula? It is nothing but present value of net cash inflow minus present value of net cash outflow. So present value of net cash inflow is your benefit. Present value of net cash outflow is your cost. So benefit minus cost is your net present value. Already we have seen this benefit minus cost in what? In non-discounted cash flow technique under payback profitability. What is the main difference here and there? Here we are just going to find the present value and then going to take this benefit and cost, whereas there we are just simply taking benefit and cost without considering this discount factor and all. Okay, let us go to the assumption. So each technique here carries some assumptions. Okay, based on these assumptions these techniques works. Okay, what is the assumption for net present value? Okay, let me explain. The assumption in net present value is that the cash inflows are immediately reinvested at a rate of return equal to firm's cost of capital. What it is? It is immediately reinvested. I am just getting rupees 50,000. What I am going to do is I am just going to invest that 50,000 at the cost of capital rate itself. That is, at if it taken to be the cost of capital is taken to be 10%, then again I am just going to invest it at the rate of interest what? At 10%. So that is the assumption here. So rate of return is equal to firm's cost of capital. So simple, right? So decision. So under each technique or each method we will be having decision rules. Okay, decision criteria. So based on that decision criteria we will be selecting the projects. Here under NPV, if NPV is greater than or equal to 0 only, we will be accepting that project. That is, your benefit is more than your cost, right? Benefit minus cost. Your benefit is more than your cost. When NPV is less than or equal to 0, you may not accepting the project because no one wants their cost to be more than their benefit. Exactly. So there is another possibility. What it is? So NPV may be equal to 0. In this case it is up to the firm. Either they can accept it or reject it. That is, it is nothing but it is an indifference point. Okay, now let us move on to a small concept under NPV. Not even under NPV, you will be seeing this mutually exclusive project in other techniques too. So this NPV method can be used to select between mutually exclusive project, and the project with highest NPV is to be chosen. Okay, because the positive NPV to be chosen. In that case only your benefit will be higher because it is simply a benefit minus cost. If it comes to a negative value, then your cost is maximum than your benefit, so you are not going to choose that. So before going further, let me explain what is meant by mutually exclusive projects. Okay guys, so mutually exclusive projects are those projects which cannot occur together. Suppose there are two projects A and B. So if you choose project A, then you cannot go for project B. Okay, because as already said, you cannot choose these projects together. Okay, either you choose this or you choose that. Okay, so if you go for project B, then you cannot choose A. So such type of projects are called mutually exclusive projects. Okay, let us move further and see what are the steps involved in calculating NPV. It is very simple. Okay, like maybe at this point you may think there are lots of steps. Not like that. Once you have been practicing your sum, it is so simple. At a point of time you will be like, you no need to remember anything, you will be like doing it by your own. Okay, the first point is determine the cash flow after tax, then select the rate of return. Okay, that is, rate of return is nothing but your weighted average cost of capital. Most of the times in SF form they will be provided you with this weighted average cost of capital. You need not to find it. So then you have to find the discount factor using the weighted average cost of capital. So the formula is nothing but what? 1 divided by 1 plus k power t. Then you should be determining present value by multiplying discount factor into the cash flow after tax. Okay, that is your present value. I know the cash flow after tax. Then by multiplying it with the discount factor, I will be determining the present value. Then finally I will be getting my net present value. By how you will be, after arriving this present value of cash inflows, you will be having this value, right, your investment value. By subtracting it from this, you will be arriving your net present value. So it's so simple, right? Let me explain this with a couple of examples. So let us see the first example. Compute the net present value for a period with a net investment of rupees 1 lakh and net cash flows given below and cost of capital is 10%. Year 1, your net cash flows is 55,000. Year 2, net cash flow is 80,000. Year 3, your net cash flow is 15,000. Okay, let us go into the problem. So we know that always one more tip to you, whenever comes to a sum paper, first write the formula. After that, with the help of that formula, just move on with your working note so that you know next what should I do. After that, what should I do? Okay, first of all, you should write your formula. So net present value is equal to present value of net cash inflows benefit minus present value of net cash outflow, which is your cost. Net present value of net cash outflow is most of the time is going to be your investment. Okay, in very depending upon the difficulty level of the sums, there will be more net cash outflows. Apart from this, mostly your investment will alone be there as your net cash outflow. So your investment. So let us see the steps, guys. Computation of discounting factor. Okay, computation of discounting factor. Okay, let us start with the format, guys. It is about your calculation, and finally you will be arriving with your discount factor. 0, 1, 2, 3. In the year 0, what happens? You're just investing it. Okay, so 1 divided by 1 plus 0.10 power 0. Always keep in mind that anything to power 0 is 1. For your understanding, I just did this step. You may omit this step when you're familiar or you just get good grip on these sums. Okay, then for first year, what will be the discount factor? 1 divided by 1.1 is 0.909. For second year, it will be 1 divided by 1.1 square. So if I solve that, what I will be getting? 1.121. So it comes to be 0.826. And finally 1 plus 0.10 power 3. So it comes to be 1 divided by 1 point what? 331, and it is nothing but 0.751. So yeah, now we have been arrived with the discount factor. Now we are having the cash flow and also the discount factor. So let us multiply the two values to get our present value. So computation of present value of cash inflows. So the format is your cash flow, discount factor, discounted cash flow. Okay, DCF is nothing but discounted cash flow. DF is nothing but discount factor. So first year it is 55,000, second year is 80,000, and third year is 15,000. So my discount factor, I'm just taking it from the previous tabular column. So my discounted cash flow is nothing but cash flow into discounted factor. So the total, if we sum it, we will be getting the present value of cash inflow. Okay. Now we know that there is only one cash outflow at the time of the investment. So NPV is nothing but 127340, which is a benefit, minus my cost for this investment is 1 lakh. So if I subtract that, I will be getting 27,340. Since it is positive, I'm just going to recommend to choose the project. Okay, so that is my benefit is more when compared to my cost. I've just invested 1 lakh, I'm just getting 1,27,370. So whenever your NPV is positive, then you're going to select that project. So the scenario differs when it comes to more than 2 or 3 projects. Okay, we will be discussing that shortly. Alternatively, this sum can be done in a very simple manner. Then why you just introduced us to that format? Because you should know the nook and corner of the calculations. Then only you can have an good grip on the easy part. Okay, that's why. Okay, let us see. Here, cash flow discount factor. I'm just going to compute the discount factor here itself. It's not a big deal. I'm just going to compute the discount factor within this tabular column. So discounted cash flow, everything in the single tabular column, single tabular format. Okay, so what are the years? And I'm just going to compute, I'm just not going to compute alone present value of net, present value of cash inflows, but along with present value of cash outflow, I will be doing the sum. At the end, I will be directly getting my NPV. So at the year 0, my cash flow is 1 lakh towards my investment, right? So I just write it down in negative because I just given this bracket because it isn't cash outflow, it is going outside, whereas other cash flows are of inflows. So I haven't used the bracket because it is positive, it denotes they are positive, it is coming inside. So my discount factor for year 0 is always 1. Okay, don't ever think. So it is always 1 0. So next for 1 2 and 3 we have computed in the previous slides itself. So if we solve the same, we will be getting our discounted cash flow. So simply solve, you will be getting your net present value. So this is one format, you can easily compute your net present value here. So again, since it is positive, you will be going for the problem. So you can do this sum either by this method or that method. That method is little bit elaborate. While you're starting your preparation for exam, just use that method for couple of sums or for 2 to 3 sums, then you just switch to this method. It's not going to do any harm in the examination. Let us move on to next sum. This sum I have been taken from the CMA book, guys. Okay, because I find this sum bit interesting and it will be helpful for beginners or someone who is learning this topic for first time to have a good understanding. Okay, if you refer our book, there will be the sum. Okay, X Limited has 2 projects under consideration, A and B, each costing rupees 60 lakhs. The projects are mutually exclusive. Life for project A is 4 years and project B is 3 years. Salvage value nil for both the projects. Tax rate 33.99%. Cost of capital is 15%. And they are provided with this tabular form at which they have provided the values for project A, project B and your present value at 15%. This present value at 15% is nothing but they have just provided you with the discount factor itself. You know, no need to find this 1 divided by 1 plus k power t part. They have provided you directly in this sum. Okay, let us move into the sum. So first of all, I'm just going to computation of cash flow after tax. In this sum, one of the important and interesting part is here cash flow after tax to be found, because they have provided you with the tax rate, right, 39.99%. So the cash flows provided you is without tax. So I'm just going to find my cash flow after tax in the first instance. So particulars, 1 for project A, 1 2 3 4, so totally 4 years. Okay, the cash inflow before depreciation is given 60, 110, 120, 50 minus depreciation. So this SM, so here you may confused, depreciation is nothing but you should be taking the investment value. So it is same for all the years. So I will be getting profit before tax, it is 45, 95, 105, 35. So again your tax is at 34%, round off to 34%. Okay, so if I compute the same, I will be getting this. So if you wonder why I'm just deducting depreciation, you will be applying the tax part on profit before tax, right? So you should be already subtracting this depreciation. So don't ever forget to do that. Like some people may like do the cash flows have been given, I will be subtracting my cash flow. Sometimes if the question is not clear, you by putting any assumption you can carry on the sum like that, but in SFM most of the cases the assumption part is not necessary. Okay, because the sum will be so clear. So PAT is 29.7 percentage for 29.7 lakhs. So it is for each year we have found the PAT. Again we are going to compute the cash flow after tax. Since depreciation is a non-cash flow item, I'm just adding back that. So I will be arriving with my cash flow after tax. Okay, I'm just adding back the depreciation to each year. So finally I have been arrived with cash flow after tax for project A. Okay, let us move on to the next format. Next is about computation of net present value. Simple, right? After because we are having every data with us. So computation of net present value of project A. Here cash flow after tax, your discount factor, then discounted cash flow. Discounted cash flow after tax or discounted cash flow or present value of cash flow is same. Okay, so for how many years I'm just going to find 1 2 3 4. Even you can find like 0 1 2 3 4. At 0 you will be having the discount factor as 1, so you will be putting it within the brackets because it is an outflow to you. By solving like that, you will be having your net present value at the end of the tabular form itself. Okay, or you may do like this, finding the present value of net cash inflow separately and then subtracting it with your investment. So discount factor is at 15% is already provided, so I'm just copying it the same from the question. So finally I will be arriving with my discounted cash flow after tax. Always have your calculator with you and along with me just work it out, so you will be familiar. Okay, so minus initial investment, which is nothing but 60,000 into 1. I'm just subtracting my investment. So finally I'm arriving with my net present value. My net present value for project A is 117.17 lakhs. Okay guys, now what we should be doing, we should be finding the net present value of project B. Same format. Again I'm just going to compute the cash flow after tax for project B, which particulars 1 2 3. For each year I'm just going to find my cash flow after tax separately. So cash inflow is being given. So here one thing is to be noted, for project A the life period is for 4 years. For project B the life is for 3 years. So I'm just under depreciation, I'm just dividing the depreciation value, right? Cost of the asset divided by number of years, it is nothing but 3. So 60 divided by 3 is 20. So I am arriving with my profit before tax. Now after subtracting my tax, which is approximate to 34%, I will be arrived with my profit after tax. So profit after tax consists of this non-cash flow item, which is called depreciation. You should be adding back this depreciation. So if you add back this depreciation, what happens? You will be arriving with your cash flow after tax. Yes, now let us compute our net present value, which is the last step here. Yes, so net present value of project B is nothing but, first of all you have to write the format. It is here cash flow after tax, then it is discount factor, then discounted factor, and discounted cash flow after tax. So already it is being provided, discounted factor is provided, so not an issue at all. So cash flow after tax is found by us. So now just multiply these two and you will be arriving with your present value of cash inflows. Now your initial investment is your cash outflow. In the year 0 it will take place, therefore your discounted factor is nothing but 1. So what is the value, present value? As usual it is 60. So your net present value of project B is 100.61 lakhs. So here, since project A and project B is of what? Is mutually exclusive project. You can choose either project A or project B. You cannot choose both the projects. So net present value of project A is nothing but 117.17 lakhs. Net present value of project B is nothing but 100.61 lakhs. So in this case, you will be choosing the project with the higher net present value, that is the higher benefit. Which project is providing you with the higher benefit? Project A. So we are going for project A. Okay, let us meet in the next video. Bye for today.